Number 16. Foulmouthed model. In September 2023, a disruptive incident unfolded aboard an American Airlines plane involving Morgan Osman, a 35-year-old Instagram model and swimwear designer. Osman, who once claimed to have dated Britney Spears' ex-husband Sam Asghari, gained notoriety after a video captured her in a heated exchange with another passenger, but the exact timing and destination of the incident remain unclear. The footage revealed Osman berating a fellow passenger, proudly declaring her Instagram fame and disdainfully referring to the individual as an effing bum. Following the incident, Osman seemingly reveled in her disruptive behavior, giggling about it in a Louboutin store in Miami, and asserting on her Instagram story, "I said what I said." She further boasted about her expensive footwear, including $1,995 boots and $795 mules. Despite the public backlash and accusations of entitlement, Osman responded on social media, claiming she voluntarily chose to leave the plane to prevent escalation. The incident, lasting around 20 seconds, featured Osman dressed in a skin-tight grey unitard, aggressively retrieving her luggage from the overhead compartment while engaging in a verbal altercation. Critics condemned Osman's behavior, labeling her as entitled and a clown. In contrast, her friends appeared to mock the situation by lip-syncing to the audio on Instagram, adopting a seemingly nonchalant attitude. American Airlines didn't immediately respond to requests for comment, leaving the timeline and circumstances of the incident uncertain. Osman's claim to fame was her brief appearance on Oxygen's Bad Girls Club in 2010, where she earned the nickname the Uber Bee. And in 2017, she made headlines by asserting a romantic involvement with Sam Asghari shortly after he began dating Britney Spears. This disruptive episode on the plane drew comparisons to a previous viral incident involving Tiffany Gomez, a 38-year-old marketing executive who had a meltdown on a flight in July 2023. Social media users amusingly pondered who did it better as they compared the two plane dramas. Number 15. Drunk man growls at flight crew. On an American Airlines flight from Los Angeles to Salt Lake City in September 2021, a 61-year-old man named Timothy Armstrong, hailing from Las Vegas, was arrested after a disturbing incident. Recorded on video by a passenger named Dennis Bush, Armstrong's unruly behavior included racist and sexist comments toward fellow passengers. Armstrong, seemingly intoxicated, grew confrontational upon landing, gesturing obscenities at the flight attendant and refusing to comply with instructions. Armstrong, nicknamed Kevin in the video, had initiated his erratic conduct by yelling at an Asian woman, insisting that she sit down while dealing with a back issue. The situation escalated into a series of racist, sexist, and belligerent remarks, leading to his eventual arrest at the gate. The footage captured Armstrong growling, gnawing on his face mask and displaying a middle finger gesture. After the plane's doors opened, police escorted Armstrong off the aircraft and he was subsequently cited for public intoxication. Dennis Bush commended the well-trained crew for handling the situation with professionalism. This incident was part of a concerning trend as the Federal Aviation Administration reported a significant increase in unruly passenger behavior in 2021. The FAA issued fines totaling $1 million that year, with 80 passengers facing penalties, including a $45,000 fine for a JetBlue customer, and nearly two-thirds of the incidents involved violations of the federal mask mandate. The FAA proposed a zero-tolerance policy, imposing fines of up to $35,000 and potential jail time for interfering with or assaulting flight attendants. However, the FAA lacks the authority to file criminal charges, relying on civil fines. Flight attendant unions and lawmakers, including House Transportation Chairman Peter DeFazio, advocate for stricter punishments, including imprisonment, to deter such behavior. A study by the Association of Flight Attendants revealed that 85% of flight attendants dealt with unruly passengers, with physical incidents affecting nearly 1 in 5. Despite the challenges, duct taping passengers remains a contentious practice, and the International Air Transport Association emphasizes its use only as a last resort. So, unfortunately, the aviation industry continues to grapple with finding effective measures to address the increasing incidents of disruptive behavior in flight. Number 14. Poolside Karen ruins the party. In July 2023, a Colorado woman, Blair Featherman, gained notoriety as the Poolside Karen after a 45-second video of her poolside meltdown went viral on TikTok. Jade Seri, the person who posted a video, captured Featherman berating a group of people who aren't visible in the footage. Featherman's outburst began with her complaint about the pool area's key fob, alleging it only allowed for 2 people, not a Mexican party in the pool. She proceeded to label the group as trash and insisted that Seri stop recording her, attempting unsuccessfully to take away her phone. Seri claimed that she and her boyfriend, both residents of the apartment complex, showed Featherman their key fob, but this didn't prevent the woman from hurling racist insults at them. In a later part of the video, Featherman directed her anger at a man, branding him effing low-class slime, and she also mocked a woman wearing Hermes, dismissing her choice to wear it at the pool. Seri responded by flaunting her own Hermes sandals, engaging in a tit-for-tat exchange with Featherman, who, according to her LinkedIn, is a feng shui expert. Seri posted 2 versions of the video, expressing the desire for an apology and stating that justice would be served. Seri posted 2 versions of the video, expressing the desire for an apology and stating that justice would be served. When Inside Edition reached out to Featherman, she claimed that the video was spliced and didn't capture the entire incident. Featherman acknowledged it was a bad day for everyone involved and apologized for her response. The incident shed lights on the power of social media in exposing and amplifying instances of confrontational behavior, prompting public reactions and discussions about accountability. Featherman's apology, though issued after being contacted by the media, underscores the scrutiny individuals face when their actions become viral sensations. Number 13. Airport Meltdown. In early July 2022, the Broward County Sheriff's Office was alerted to a situation unfolding at the JetBlue terminal of the Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport. Airline employees informed officers that a woman had abandoned her luggage at the terminal after she refused to pay a fee for her oversized bag. They also accused the woman of ordering a person of color to carry her bags for her. Before they were filled in as to what was going on, airport employees initially believed that the luggage had been left at the airport by a homeless person. They were unaware that the woman who had left the bag had already missed her plane 45 minutes prior. At first, airport employees tried to handle the situation themselves, weighing the bag and discovering that it was 83 pounds. But after concluding that the bag couldn't just be filled with clothing, they began to worry that something dangerous might be stored in the luggage. Airport security had their K9s check the bag, but they didn't suspect that any illegal substances were inside. So, after putting on gloves, the airport employees decided to go through the luggage themselves. They discovered toiletries, clothes, and shoes inside the bag, as well as legal documents identifying the owner of the luggage as Lisa Michelle Landy, a woman with a master's degree from Notre Dame College. And at that point, the JetBlue airline supervisor came over to inform the employees with the luggage that Landy wouldn't be getting on the flight that day due to her behavior. The supervisor then walks the employees over to another section of the airport where they wait for the woman to retrieve her bag, and as they wait, they discuss how they believe that Landy is intoxicated. In footage recorded of the incident, as the employees are waiting for Landy, a woman begins hurling racial slurs in their direction from across the room. Escorted by a police officer, the woman storms over to the airport workers, who understandably respond negatively to her choice of words. The female employee says, "We don't speak like that here," as the woman approaches, identifying herself as Landy. The women continue to have a brief heated exchange as the employee rolls the luggage over to Landy, telling her to leave the airport. And things would have calmed down if the woman just left, but instead she tried to assault the female employee while the cop was standing mere feet away. This, of course, leads to her being arrested. Landy only makes things worse for herself as they try to put handcuffs on her. As she's on the floor, she claims that she can't be arrested because her mom is dying of cancer. In the end, though, another officer shows up and helps take Landy into custody. But it's unclear if she was ever charged in connection with the incident. Number 12. Father loses mind over mask mandate. In August 2020, an anti-mask scene unfolded at a Sprouts Farmers Market in Tucson, Arizona, caught on video and quickly making the rounds on social media. The clip shows an unidentified man engaging in an expletive-laden rant against mask-wearing customers, dismissing the necessity of masks and berating those who wear them. Two younger men, one identified as the man's son, attempt to guide him away from the escalating confrontation. In the video, the son repeatedly addresses his father, attempting to reason with him as the disgruntled customer continues his tirade. Another customer, wearing a surgical mask, intervenes and tells the angry man to shut up. The situation intensifies as the father appears to charge at a mask-wearing individual, prompting the son to step between them and push his father away. Amidst the chaos, the father challenges the other customer to go outside and prove his toughness. The son, wearing a grey t-shirt, takes charge, embracing his father and ushering him out of the store. And at one point he lifts his father and carries him outside, while the older man continues to shout. Notably, the father's behavior not only violated the store's policy, but also went against the county's public health mandate. As of July 15, 2020, Pima County mandated that individuals over the age of 5 must wear face masks in public if a 6-foot social distancing space cannot be maintained. The incident highlighted the challenges faced by businesses in enforcing health protocols and the varied reactions sparked by mask mandates during the pandemic. Number 11. Mic drop tantrum at NYC College. In June 2023, a graduation ceremony at Queens College in New York City took an unexpected turn when Kadia Iman, a black graduate of LaGuardia Community College, went viral for grabbing the microphone from a white educator. LaGuardia Community College expressed disapproval, describing Iman's actions as unacceptable. The incident occurred during the commencement ceremony on June 21st. The college's chief spokesman, Manny Romero, stated that the protocol involves a volunteer holding the microphone while students announce their names to maintain an orderly procession. Iman's decision to grab the microphone was deemed disruptive and inappropriate, impacting the celebration for both graduates and guests. In a TikTok video, Iman could be seen wrestling the microphone away from the white educator, expressing her frustration at not being allowed to hold the mic while announcing her name. Iman later defended her actions on social media, asserting that she did it for girls who look like her and wouldn't be gaslighted into thinking she was the bad guy. Romero criticized Iman for mistreating a staff volunteer and mentioned ongoing reviews of the incident to prevent similar occurrences in the future. Iman's defiant stance and refusal to feel embarrassed about her actions sparked further attention, with her explaining that she couldn't let the educator unfairly speed up the mic for some black students. Despite attempts to reach Iman, she's remained unavailable for comment. LaGuardia Community College emphasized its commitment to providing support for student success and fostering a safe and respectful learning environment. The incident accentuates the challenges faced by educational institutions in managing disruptive behavior during important events like graduation ceremonies. Number 10. Karaoke host yells at crowd. In November 2023, the Louisville karaoke scene witnessed a memorable meltdown when a karaoke host took issue not just with participants, but with the entire bar. In a viral video, two guys are in front of a packed bar ready to belt out a song when the karaoke MC abruptly cuts them off. The host stands up, declaring, "Yep, that's it. Goodbye, everybody." He then emphatically states that nobody will holler into his microphone, emphasizing his commitment to maintaining order. To the amusement of onlookers, the host takes a creative turn by using his hand as a makeshift microphone, hilariously imitating the halted performance. According to the person who recorded the incident, they were on a night out in Louisville and decided to try karaoke. Attempting to sing Goodbye Graceful by falling in reverse, the host unexpectedly freaked out on them for playing the intro to a metal song. The host claims that heavy metal songs would blow out his speakers, but those in the crowd didn't believe him. As the bar erupts into laughter over the host's impersonation, he draws attention to his tip jar, wailing about the meager $13 he'd received after 5 hours of work. The person recording shared additional context, revealing that their friend who screamed at the beginning of the video had taken 3 gravity bongs before going on stage and was left in shock by the host's reaction. The author also humorously reflected that it was their first attempt at karaoke and it couldn't have gone worse. The incident adds a touch of absurdity to the karaoke night, shedding light on the unpredictable, and sometimes comical nature of live performances in local bars. Whether defending equipment or asserting authority, the karaoke host's antics created a memorable moment in Louisville's entertainment scene. Number 9. Patrick Mahomes' on-field meltdown. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes expressed regret for his on-field outburst during his team's game against the Buffalo Bills on December 10, 2023. The meltdown followed an offside call that nullified Kadarius Toney's crucial touchdown. Mahomes, who was visibly upset, had to be restrained during the incident, and he tossed his helmet in frustration. Reflecting on the outburst, Mahomes acknowledged his overreaction and expressed remorse, particularly for his post-game behavior towards Bills quarterback Josh Allen, who wasn't involved in the controversial call. In an interview with 610 Sports, Mahomes admitted that the emotional nature of the game fueled his reaction, emphasizing his deep passion for the sport and commitment to winning. However, he recognized the need to channel emotions appropriately, acknowledging that such behavior directed at officials or anyone is unacceptable. And while he regretted his actions, Mahomes also noted his disappointment in how he treated Allen after the game. Having had time to cool down, Mahomes discussed a tough loss, emphasizing the importance of moving forward in the competitive league. He reviewed game footage to learn from mistakes, a crucial aspect of growth as both a person and a player. Mahomes admitted that the play in question was a rare call in the NFL, contributing to his surprise and frustration. When asked about potential fines for his conduct, Mahomes remained uncertain but acknowledged the challenges referees face in their demanding roles. He emphasized a willingness to accept consequences for his actions, maintaining accountability for his behavior. And regarding Toney not checking for offside, Mahomes suggested that players typically rely on referees to signal approval. However, he recognized the unpredictable nature of the NFL and the importance of moving on from such incidents. Looking ahead, Mahomes expressed eagerness for the upcoming game against the New England Patriots, emphasizing the team's focus on improvement. Despite the setback, he remained optimistic and embraced the challenges that lie ahead, signaling a determined and forward-looking approach for the Chiefs. Number 8. Taco Shop Tantrum. In the latest episode of Public Outrage, a woman's tantrum at a San Diego taco shop has gone viral. The video, initially shared on TikTok in May of 2023, captures the woman berating an employee over a receipt. And after hurling expletives, she's asked to leave but instead grabs the cashier, escalating the situation. Undeterred, the employee stands her ground, warning the woman not to touch her. Then, when she's told by employees that the police will be called, the irate customer eventually leaves, issuing a parting threat to the taco shop crew. The incident, though no longer public on TikTok, sparked a Reddit discussion, attracting thousands of views. The cashier clarified that the woman demanded a receipt for an online order that only provided electronic confirmation. Refusing to refund $73 for consumed food, the employee faced verbal abuse from the customer. But the video's removal from TikTok hasn't halted its circulation, and online sleuths claim to have identified the woman. The cashier, who was posted on the video, expressed distress at being physically assaulted, emphasizing the unacceptable nature of such behavior. The woman's actions, fueled by a demand for a receipt, ended with a warning about potential consequences for the taco shop. But as of right now, it remains unclear if the woman has faced charges or police involvement. This public altercation adds to a growing list of viral encounters involving individuals labeled Karens. In March of 2023, another incident gained attention when a hotel worker was threatened after requesting identification from a woman. Number 7. Man brings mayhem to golf course. In September 2023, Ken Davies found himself in the midst of an extraordinary and surreal scene at a Michigan country club where a routine round of golf took a bizarre turn that's reminiscent of a Marvel movie. So, what was the catalyst for this unexpected spectacle? A seemingly mundane dispute over a golf ball. The situation unfolded when a woman accused a fellow golfer of passing off her ball as his own. And what might have been a routine disagreement quickly spiraled into something far more insane. The accused man, rather than engaging in a reasonable discussion, embarked on a nonsensical tirade that left everyone in disbelief. In the midst of his heated rant, he made audacious claims, asserting a divine connection and challenging anyone present to come get it if they dared. The atmosphere grew increasingly charged, and to punctuate his rage, the man dramatically tore off his shirt, a move that reminds one of the iconic transformation of the Marvel character, the Incredible Hulk. Ken Davies, who happened to be enjoying his golf round at the same Michigan country club, quickly realized the gravity of the situation. Recognizing the potential for this bizarre display to captivate a wider audience, he promptly pulled out his phone and recorded the unfolding mayhem. The video, now circulating online, has garnered attention for its surreal nature and the uncanny resemblance of the agitated golfer to the fictional Hulk. And internet sleuths wasted no time in uncovering the identity of this golf course protagonist. Contrary to expectations, it wasn't Dr. Bruce Banner, but a 41-year-old realtor from Ohio named John Reeb. Notably, Reeb has a history of run-ins with the law, adding a layer of intrigue to the unfolding drama on the golf course. The incident serves as a reminder that even the most serene settings, such as a peaceful golf course, can become the stage for unexpected theatrics. In this case, a routine golf dispute transformed into a larger-than-life performance, leaving spectators bewildered and prompting comparisons to a cinematic superhero saga. Number 6. Can't handle crying baby on airplane. A recent viral video capturing a grown man's outrageous tantrum on a flight due to a crying baby has ignited a social media storm. Titled "Belligerent Passenger Causes Diversion," the clip showcases the unidentified man unleashing a profanity-laced tirade at flight attendants, adamantly blaming them for not quieting the inconsolable infant on the Florida-bound flight. The man's escalating anger, marked by over 20 expletives, draws attention from both attendants and fellow passengers. He vehemently insists that the baby has been crying for an unbearable 40 minutes, disrupting his sleep despite wearing headphones. And when confronted about the distinction between a baby's cries and a grown man's yelling, he retorts with more profanity, insisting that the baby should be silenced. While some viewers empathized with the man's frustration, many criticized his lack of empathy and highlighted the baby's right to be in public. The general sentiment leans toward disapproval of the man's disruptive behavior, with calls for consequences from the public. The video concludes with the man at the airport engaging with airline workers and police, who eventually escort him away. The aftermath remains uncertain, with no information on potential charges or airline actions. Southwest Airlines, in response to the incident, commended its flight crew's professionalism and extended apologies to other customers on board. This episode adds to a recent trend of in-flight controversies, including Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Anthony Bass's tweet about a United Airlines flight attendant allegedly instructing his pregnant wife to clean up a mess made by their children. The ensuing social media debate centers on responsibility for cleaning up after untidy passengers, with opinions divided on the staff member's actions. Number 5. White woman confronts black UPS worker. In a viral video from November 2019, Nedrick Peters II, an 18-year-old black UPS employee, captured a tense encounter with a white woman in Atlanta. The woman questioned Peters' presence in her neighborhood, deeming him suspicious and threatening to call the police and UPS to report him. The clips, shared on Instagram, don't provide the full context, but show the woman persistently questioning Peters and demanding personal information. The woman expressed concern about her car being vandalized in the neighborhood and insisted that Peters disclose his identity. Peters, wearing a clearly marked UPS uniform, resisted her demands, leading to a prolonged standoff. He joked about her accusation, stating, "She's smoking crack," as he pointed to his UPS jacket and the packages on his dolly. The video gained widespread attention on Twitter, with users condemning the woman's behavior, suggesting that she was needlessly harassing Peters. Some pointed out a shift in her attitude when a white UPS employee joined the scene, raising questions about racial bias. UPS acknowledged the video, stating that they were investigating the incident. Online reactions praised Peters for recording the encounter and criticized the woman's actions, emphasizing the importance of exposing such incidents. The woman's identity remains unknown, but the video serves as another example of racial profiling and unwarranted suspicion faced by people of color. Number 4. CVS Karen. In December 2020, a woman, now dubbed CVS Karen, made headlines for her refusal to comply with the mask policy at a Los Angeles CVS. The incident, captured in 2 videos by Ties to Glorious, the CEO of Friends at Work, showcased a woman vehemently opposing the establishment's safety guidelines. In the first clip, the maskless woman engages in a heated argument with CVS employees who repeatedly request her compliance with the mask policy. Sticklorious expressed his disbelief at the woman's intense selfishness, comparing her behavior unfavorably to that of his 10-year-old. The situation escalates in the second clip when a healthcare worker intervenes, emphasizing the severity of the ongoing pandemic. Despite the healthcare worker's attempt to explain the dire situation with hospitals overwhelmed by COVID-19 cases, the woman remains steadfast in her refusal to wear a mask, claiming that she's reached a breaking point. The woman's reason for visiting the CVS, reportedly for Epsom salt and a corkscrew, raises eyebrows among witnesses who question why she'd prioritize causing a scene over such trivial items, especially given the heightened global health concerns. CVS Karen attempts to maintain contradictory arguments, asserting both a mysterious medical reason for not wearing a mask and emphasizing her overall health. The incident exemplified the challenges faced by frontline workers in enforcing safety measures during the pandemic. The altercation also sheds light on the ongoing struggle to get some individuals to prioritize public health over personal preferences. Number 3. Dad's brutal reaction at gender reveal party. In January 2023, a seemingly routine gender reveal party took an unexpected and somewhat alarming turn when a video of a dad-to-be's extreme reaction went viral on TikTok. Shared by Matilda Vilter, the footage captured the moment when the expectant couple used a balloon to unveil their baby's gender among family and friends. But the initial excitement turned into shock as the father-to-be witnessed blue confetti, signifying a baby boy. His response, however, was far from the typical joy seen in such scenarios. As the blue confetti floated down, the dad erupted into an exaggerated celebration, screaming and cheering. His enthusiastic display included pounding on a nearby table and unexpectedly headbutting the baby boxes on display. The cheers from the initial reveal turned into a stunned silence, with viewers expressing concern over the man's extreme behavior. Comments on the video labeled him a walking red flag, with one user asking, "What in the red flag is happening here?" Others noted the awkward silence that followed the initial cheers, suggesting that those present in the room were taken aback by the man's over-the-top reaction. Online responses were mixed, with some encouraging Matilda to reconsider the relationship, while others jokingly suggested a divorce in response to the shocking outburst. Despite the controversy, though, Matilda has continued to share updates on her pregnancy journey, including a tour of the baby's room. Responding to the online criticism, she offered reassurance, stating that her partner's extreme reaction was a one-time occurrence and wasn't reflective of his usual demeanor. While some viewers questioned the health of their relationship, Matilda emphasized that there was nothing to worry about and that her partner's behavior during the gender reveal was exaggerated for the moment. Number 2. Teacher forcibly cuts student's hair. For a bizarre incident that took place at University Preparatory High School in Visalia, California in December 2018, science teacher Margaret Giesinger is facing charges of child endangerment after forcibly cutting a student's hair in class. Days before this shocking episode, students recall signs of odd behavior from the 52-year-old teacher. One student mentioned a previous incident where Giesinger yelled at students for not having a test, even making one student cry. And there were also reports of a chemistry class meltdown over a missing exam. In a video that surfaced, Giesinger is seen chasing students with scissors, singing the Star-Spangled Banner while moving between desks. Students recounted another incident where Giesinger, seemingly displaying signs of mental instability, asked a girl in the school bathroom if she'd ever heard a teacher use the restroom. Despite students expressing concerns about her behavior, Giesinger's husband denied that she'd ever exhibited such actions. Online records reveal that Giesinger had her teaching credentials suspended twice, once in 2007 and again in 2016. The school administration faced criticism for not taking action earlier to prevent such incidents. Parents, however, believed that this arrest was an anomaly in an otherwise high-achieving school and commended the administration for handling the situation appropriately. If convicted, Giesinger could face up to 3.5 years behind bars. But as of now, there's been no updates on the case, leaving the consequences of her actions unclear. And now for number 1. But if you want to hear more bizarre and crazy stories, stay tuned after the video for some more content. Number 1. McDonald's customer threatens employees. In a bizarre and unsettling altercation from White Marsh, Maryland in November 2023, a McDonald's drive-thru turned into chaos when a furious customer unleashed a psychotic meltdown. Caught on video, the enraged man exited his car, approached the drive-thru window, and then began berating the McDonald's workers. The video captures the customer's descent into madness as he not only verbally assaults the workers, but also grabs food and a drink, hurling them back into the restaurant. Amidst the chaos, he demands the closure of the establishment, adding to the workers' already challenging situation. The encounter then escalates further when the irate customer grabs a stack of shelves and hurls them over the drink machine, causing potential damage to everything in its path. His erratic behavior includes violently shaking the machine before demanding food from the bewildered workers. Despite the volatile situation, one courageous worker decides to hand over the customer's food, attempting to defuse the escalating tension. The customer, still immersed in a profanity-laden tirade, eventually slams the window shut and walks away. As of now, there's no information on whether the individual responsible for this disturbing incident has been apprehended by the police, but one can only hope that he faced some type of consequences for his violent outburst over fast food. Number 10. Kissing in public. In 2017, at a restaurant in Santa Monica, California, a woman had a meltdown. Her name is Anna Storelli, and she melted down because of a perfectly innocent kiss on the head. You see, a couple in the restaurant happened to be doing a little bit of cuddling. The man had his arms around the girl from behind, and he gave her a kiss on the head. Not her mouth, the top of her head. This was as far as the public display of affection went. Anna saw what was happening and was so angry that she started screaming in the middle of the busy restaurant. She told the couple to get a room, told them people are trying to eat, and insisted that they know how uncomfortable their affection made her feel. It was at about that time when Anna went completely off the rails and started swearing at the girl. She called her ugly and all kinds of other nasty names. Anna then threatened to call the police on them for doing prostitution in public, and in the end, she demanded the restaurant refund her meal because she was so upset. As it turned out, Anna is actually a cam girl. After her outburst went viral, people were quick to identify her as an adult entertainer who uploads risque videos of herself for cash. Number 9. Spitting on a plane. Valerie Gonzalez was extremely drunk when she got kicked off a plane in 2019. The 32-year-old woman got on board a JetBlue flight going from Fort Lauderdale to Las Vegas. The trip from Florida to Nevada should have been a quick couple of hours, but Valerie was not about to simply sit down and mind her own business. As soon as she realized she had been placed next to a small child on the plane, she burst into a hot fit of rage. She refused to sit next to a 3-year-old because, in her own words, she had been drinking all day. Valerie got out of her seat, found an empty seat somewhere else, and sat in it, but she didn't like the new seat either. The people who were sitting in front of her weren't up to Valerie's satisfaction, and so she started screaming and swearing as loud as she could. She screamed herself straight into a temper tantrum, which then escalated into a rampage when she realized the people on the plane were filming her. And that was when she started hissing and spitting at people. Before long, the cabin crew asked Valerie if she could please get off the airplane. But since she kept making a scene, security had to come and put her in a wheelchair. She was then rolled out of the terminal and taken to North Broward Bureau Jail and charged with battery for her poor behavior and spitting on people. Number 8. Bowling ball meltdown. Atlanta police recently identified a man who had a meltdown at a bowling alley and beat someone to death over a bowling ball. His name is Joshua Fleetwood, and he was 25 years old in 2022 when he committed murder. It all went down at a place called Metro Fun Center in southwest Atlanta, but the center was anything but fun that night when Joshua Fleetwood got into an argument with 31-year-old Lakevia Jackson. Lakevia was at the bowling alley to celebrate a friend's birthday. Not just anyone's birthday, her best friend's special day. Everyone was just bowling and having fun. And then came the argument. The two parties were bowling on adjacent lanes, meaning they were right beside each other the whole night. One person wanted to use the bowling ball, the other side said it was their ball, and things got heated very quickly. Joshua became so furious that he got a gun from his car and started blasting. He wasn't just trying to shoot Lakevia, but all of her friends too. She just so happened to be the only one that got hit, and she died from her injuries. Joshua has since been charged with felony murder and will likely be spending the rest of his life in jail. Number 7. Wendy's Meltdown. A woman from Lehigh Acres was caught on video having a meltdown at a Wendy's. It happened on a Thursday night in June of 2022, involving a woman named Shamia Tillman. According to the police investigators, Shamia initially went through the drive-thru to get her food. She wasn't happy with her order, so she went inside to complain. But once she got inside, she had a meltdown and started throwing her food and drinks, screaming at employees and attacking them physically. When the employees tried to calm her down, she started biting at them like a zombie. She bit the finger of one of the female employees so hard that it broke the skin. Then came a DoorDash delivery driver who thought he could handle the situation. He got between Shamia and the employees and tried to settle things down, but Shamia slapped him across the face. Then she ripped the iPhone out of his hand and threw it so that it bounced off an employee's head. Even when the cops showed up, Shamia just couldn't be calmed down. She kicked and screamed all the way into the back seat of the squad car. And when the deputy tried to speak with her, she spat in his face. Shamia's dissatisfaction with her Wendy's meal landed her in the Lee County Jail. Number 6. Candy Bar Meltdown. Angela Robinson worked at the Rosemont Pantry in Charleston back in May of 2017. For those unfamiliar with the place, it's basically just a convenience store in South Carolina. The clerk had an insane meltdown on a bright Sunday afternoon and wound up in jail, brought up on a charge of attempted murder. It all went down because of some candy. The victim in this situation walked into the convenience store, purchased some candy, and then went back outside. Once he got outside, he realized that his candy had melted. It was useless, and he didn't even want it anymore. He went back into the Rosemont Pantry and suggested that Angela keep the candy in a cooler space so that it doesn't melt. In response, Angela attacked him. She beat him with a fan, chased him out of the store, and then got in her SUV and tried to run him over. When she missed, she jumped out of the vehicle, pulled a knife, and tried to stab the guy to death. All the victim had tried to do was get some candy from the store, and he wound up being chased by a deranged woman with a knife. Luckily, the victim lived to see another day. He received a cut to his arm and one stab wound on his leg and was treated for his injuries at Roper Hospital. Angela Robinson was taken to jail, and we still have no idea why she had such an abrupt and crazy meltdown over melted candy. Number 5. Calling the cops. A white woman in Houston was caught on video in 2020, accusing a man of threatening her. For the sake of fully understanding this meltdown, it's important to know the man was black and that he was also a US Census worker for the government. His name is Isaac Perkins, and he was going door to door when a white woman approached him and said she was calling the cops. When he asked why, she said it was because he had no business being in her neighborhood or lurking around her neighbors' houses. When he asked if she was calling the police because he was black, she simply told him to leave and kept repeating that he didn't have any reason to be in her neighborhood. After a bit of back and forth, she really did call the police. The old woman in her rain boots on a perfectly sunny day said there was a black male acting obnoxious in the neighborhood and that he was threatening her. About 2 hours later, the cops showed up. They didn't do a thing. Isaac had to sit there being berated by an angry old lady on the side of the street all that time when he had just been trying to do his job. Number 4. Grocery store axe maniac. A man with an axe had a public meltdown and destroyed a grocery store. He did it because the employees at the store refused to serve his wife when she refused to put on her mask. As you can probably guess, this happened during the height of the pandemic. But it wasn't in the US, but rather at a supermarket in the coastal city of Mariupol in Ukraine. The woman initially tried to make a purchase inside the supermarket without her mask on. The cashier refused to give her any kind of service, and they got into an argument. There was some Karen-style arguing going on, and then the woman left the store. She went to get her husband, who turned out to be an even bigger Karen than his wife. He went back to the store with an axe, and he hefted the weapon right onto the checkout counter. One of the employees hit the panic button, and then they all ran away while this guy destroyed 4 cash registers, smashed up the counters with his axe, and caused a total of about $4,000 in damages before running away. The axe-wielding lunatic may have gotten away with his meltdown too if he hadn't bragged about the attack later in a Facebook post. The post helped police track him down, and he was arrested and now faces up to 7 years in prison on a charge of hooliganism. Number 3. Emotional support pig. When a woman tried to take her emotional support pig for a walk in 2021, she found herself being accosted by a furious stranger who couldn't handle the size of the animal or the fact that it was going to the bathroom next to a tree on the side of the street. The emotional support pig is a pretty beefy animal. His name is Chorizo, and he appears to be several hundred pounds. He's definitely larger than an ordinary dog, and yet he does the same kinds of things a dog does. He walks down the sidewalk sniffing at stuff with his snout, and when he has to use the bathroom, he stops on some grass and does his business. Well, one especially cranky woman was not having any of it. This stranger came out of nowhere, walked straight up to the woman and her pig, and started screaming. She wanted to know why the woman had a pig in the middle of the park. And when the owner of the pig tried to explain that it was an emotional support animal, the crazy woman just kept on yelling. She tried to lecture the pet owner about living in a community where there are rules and bylaws, and she just would not leave the lady and her pig alone. She even said the pig was going to eat the landscape. In the end, after a painful amount of arguing, the Karen finally left. But still, her unnecessary meltdown in the public park had made an uncomfortable day for everyone. Number 2. Plane meltdown. In 2017, a man took his very first plane journey on a Red Wings flight from Moscow to Antalya. That's from Russia to Turkey. He had never been on a plane before and thought that drinking would help calm his nerves and make flying easier. What he didn't realize was that drinking only makes air travel worse, and he ended up tied like a hog and covered in blood. Everything started normally enough. The man had a couple of drinks and the flight was going smoothly. But then he got belligerently drunk, and that was when the cabin crew denied him any more alcohol. This threw him into a fit, and he started rampaging up and down the aisle, demanding booze. The man eventually sat in his seat, but he was already in a fit of mania. He punched the back of the seat in front of him and flailed so much he somehow bashed himself in the nose and caused blood to gush everywhere. By the time the other passengers finally managed to pin this guy down and tie him up with seatbelts, he was absolutely soaked in blood. To make things even more embarrassing for this guy, he was reportedly traveling with his wife and 2 kids. He ended up being detained in Turkey, and his wife and children flew back to Russia without him. Number 1. Victoria's Secret Karen. A Karen was spotted having a breakdown at a Victoria's Secret in summer of 2021 and then chasing a woman through the store as she cried and screamed. This newest Karen's name is Abigail Elphick, and she's a millennial white woman. She became enraged at the Victoria's Secret store in South Jersey and then attacked a Muslim woman from Nigeria named Gioma, who had just been trying to shop. The victim is Gioma Ukenta, and she was about to be slapped in the face by Abigail until she pulled her phone out and started recording. The minute the recording started, Abigail had a mental breakdown. She collapsed on the floor in front of the store counter, cried, screamed, and literally lay on the dirty floor like a toddler, having the hardest day of their life. Then, when police arrived to investigate the disturbance, they asked the victim to leave the store. The Karen claimed she had a panic attack when Gioma started filming her for no reason. After the incident, Gioma was so upset that she made a GoFundMe account to try and get enough money to take legal action against the police and the Karen, and she raised over $54,000. Would you rather deal with a Karen while working at a fast food restaurant or while working at a CVS pharmacy? Which would be worse? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.